Welcome, Gemini Soul Travelers, to Venusian Empress Oracle. We are getting into your new moon reading here with the Gilded Reverie Lenormand. Something I've had for a while, but I just haven't brought out. So we're going to be taking a look at the main energy as well as the top and bottom energy to get an overall idea of what may be going on for you for this week. These are great cards to use. I've been having some good readings so far. Sun and stars, so definitely you could be on the brighter side of the healing spectrum at this time, moving in a good direction and getting in a better place. Yeah, somebody may be coming coming forward to offer you some love at this time. What is going on here? A Knight of Cups energy. Just make sure that that is a good cup of love that is coming, because it could definitely cause you to feel very passionate about it, all right? But it is just beginning, it feels like, so make sure you don't move too fast with it if that's the case. These are general readings which may or may not resonate with everyone, but if they do in any way, thank you so much for hitting that like button and letting me know below how they are resonating. Watch these also for your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs. If you need a personal reading, don't hesitate to reach out to me at VenusianWaves.org, guys. We'll find out exactly what is going on for you. We'll get a Moonology card for you today, and I will read out of the book for that to give us a clear understanding of the advice that Spirit has for us moving forward. We will get some advice from the Lovers Oracle cards, which I do for every reading, which is a great reason to subscribe and hit the bell notification. Another thing I've added that may be of interest to you is I answer your question, one question at the end of each reading. So get your question ready and we will see what's going on for you. For Gemini, thank you so much to the angels, ancestors, way showers, and guides. Bring through the wisdom that we need for these new moon energies. Thank you. All right, Gemini, thanks so much for being here. It's so good to have you. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Hope these messages serve you well and help you as you move throughout your week. Let's see what's going on for you, shall we? Too many cards there. One card, please. All right. Ooh, do we have some love energy going on here today? I did see that coming out. Maybe somebody is giving, you know, equally in this situation. 24 coming to a 6. It does look like something that could blossom into something beautiful for sure. All right. Ooh, at the bottom we have crane energy. Very interesting. Once again, we have 2 that are in here. So this does look like a very beautiful situation potentially here. Yeah, coming out of that darkness into the light. I do feel like, especially with the 6 coming out again here, 17 coming to an 8, it feels like you've both been through a lot of lessons. You know, you both have been through a lot in general. A lot of chills, I will say, that I'm getting. If this is a relationship for you, it does feel very good. It feels very grounded and balanced, if you will. Something that is, it's like you're the key to each other's heart, right? You both hold the key and you both feel potentially in sync with one another as well. So 24 is heart. How beautiful is that? I love it. So 24 says, the form of happiness and love is simply drawn in my shape. I am your feelings and emotions. I am your passions and devotions. Just make sure no bad cards are around to spoil this fondness and affection. In antique Lenormand decks, the design of the heart varies from the almost biological, physical heart to a kitsch, romantic heart embroidered with flowers and adornments. The heart is, of course, symbolic of love and relationship. Here we see the heart formed by 2 swans, a bird itself symbolic of courtly relationship, monogamy, and enduring love. The heart is always a card signifying beneficial emotions in the Lenormand. To receive the combination of heart with the clover, 2, and a ring, 25, promises love, luck, commitment, and marriage. The heart and the birch or the scythe may not be such a happy combination. All right, so we're going to look at these other 2 cards that came around it real quick. So far, so good, though, with that beautiful energy there. On the bottom, 17 with the cranes here. We're going to take a look at that and see what that energy has to say. 17. Let me know below how this is resonating for sure. Stork. What? Somebody could be pregnant. That's what's going on here. Okay, so the stork says, with movements, upgrades, and improvements, I bring spring and the change of seasons, which is absolutely what we're in right now. So even if it's not meaning that you're pregnant or having a baby, it does mean that a new relationship is budding or forming, if you will. Sometimes my symbol stands for a new family addition or simply a new state of evolution, which I was just talking about. I can be your move or your next promotion. Whoa, that is amazing. Okay, let's look at this top card now, because that was the bottom card. So things are definitely, it looks like, moving forward in positive ways. The top card is the energy of 6. Definitely balance, whatever this is, feels really good. Clouds is 6, so let's read this card. I am dark on one side and light on the other. Conflicts and doubts I am sure to bring. You will not be able to see clearly. I will block your perception and let confusion reign. One thing I promise for sure is that I will pass, because the sun always shines after the storm has passed. All right, so it does look like to me that you are going to weather the storms, perhaps that you may be having within you, they could be having within them, because of this coming together, because of everything that's being stirred within the heart. But it does look like something beautiful is forming and budding as a result of something coming together. So I feel like a big part of this is, you know, not to get too much up in your head about a situation, especially if things are going well. You know, obviously don't go too fast, you know, with things, but if it's good, if things are moving in the right direction, you know what I mean? It's like, allow that positive progression is what I'm hearing. Don't get too caught up in your head, you know, don't put your boundaries up too strongly, but at the same time, you know, healthy boundaries, moderation, that's always the key, right? So that we can move out of that cloudy energy. But definitely be aware if you do see toxicity, red flags, and things of that nature, all right? So that could be what you're having the conflict with. But maybe what you do is you have a conversation and things end up moving in the right direction and you remove that confusion. Or maybe not. I don't know. You know, this is all going to be up to you. But right now it doesn't feel like things are in that happy state of being. Yeah, maybe we could still be focusing on past heartbreak and heartache, and maybe that could be clouding our judgment, if you will, as far as a new lover or something of that nature. You know, it's like, give this person a chance, take a chance, you know, see where this could go, kind of thing, instead of potentially falling into, you know, thinking about the past and what didn't work out and how potentially this could end up the same way kind of situation. You know, this is the energy I think that you're really being challenged with to move out of. All right, to take the blindfold off and to understand that just because you had past disappointments doesn't mean that things can't be good moving forward. But this is all about not going back and forth, you know, choosing. Does this feel right? Does it not feel right? And then take the path, you know, go one way or the other. Either leave this behind or take a chance with it. What feels right to you? But right now it feels like this is a pretty balanced situation. King of Pentacles energy for the outside energy. That feels like this person that you could be dealing with could definitely have money Maybe what you're worried about is the control factor, or getting caught up in a situation where you end up getting left out in the cold, left out of the will, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, everything seems all good, you know, at one point, but then somehow always fizzles out. And maybe that's what happens with this situation too. Could be a love bombing type of energy, you know what I mean? Where if you're not careful, that it could lead to something that you don't really want. What we want to, you know, the cup we want to accept is one that's really going to lead to that happiness, not one that just seems to be what it is that we want, but ends up not being quite what we wanted. So the heart is definitely one that we have to be very careful with, you know? Yes, we want to be able to be open and allow ourselves to experience all of the wonderful things of life, but just like a parent has to watch over a child when it's playing, we have to guard our own hearts and be aware of who we're allowing to play in our own garden, you know what I mean? So 3 of Swords energy, wow. So it feels like you're definitely being challenged with feeling so good, but at the same time being so scared that you may be hurt once again if you completely let your walls down with someone, right? You could be blocking out this person and causing, you know, this unnecessary confusion and things of that nature. I'm not seeing conflicts necessarily, but could be causing confusion, especially with the other person as well, even with yourself, about why you may not want to move forward with this person, right? It's almost like pleasure and pain kind of energy. Maybe again, you could be reflecting back on the past, right? And how you ended up in these situations whenever you thought everything was all good and you took a chance, and then it ended up biting you in the ass kind of energy, right? And it's kind of like maybe in the past you knew, even with these situations, that they weren't going to go anywhere, that these people weren't perhaps the committal type. Maybe you had a lot in common with them, but the truth was, you know, there was never really going to be that success with them. And this did nothing but cause you conflict in dealing with these type of people. Gemini. So we get a 6 of Swords and a 3 of Wands in reverse. So it's kind of like, I feel like a once bitten, twice shy kind of energy. It's almost like not wanting to start something you're not completely sure about or feel completely good about, because you're potentially concerned that you're just going to end up in the same boat, if you will, having to turn your back on something, right? Maybe learning that perhaps people weren't completely honest with you about things, how they felt, whatever, right? 8 of Swords in reverse. Taking the blindfold off, seeing perhaps where you're holding your own self back, your own potential back, if you will, with that Queen of Pentacles energy, right? Feeling perhaps that you're always looking for someone to provide that stability and support for you, but I feel like you are seeing more of your value and worth at this point, and perhaps maybe you're more willing to take a risk on that. And be careful with your heart is what it feels like. Yeah, because it does feel like there's an inner struggle, an inner battle when it comes to this situation. There is some reason that you're being cautioned for sure. And maybe, you know, I understand this too. It's like when people get too close, it's like then you really get to see things a lot more clearly. And you have to be then more resolute about what way you want to move forward with things. Do you want to give your energy to this person, you know? Or perhaps are they dealing with somebody behind the scenes, and maybe you've been cheated on before, right? Queen of Cups energy and 9 of Pentacles energy. But you always seem to maintain your value and worth, regardless. But it's like, it gets so scary when it comes to really letting yourself be open to someone, you know? Because this is the way it always seems to end up. Yeah, it seems great at first, but then everything just falls apart, you know? So I feel like you're really looking at things a lot more clearly at this time of what's really important to you, and is love. What's love got to do with it? You may be saying, you know, maybe I need to focus more on my own values and self-worth and what it is that I want to grow, you know? Be committed to my own dreams instead of, you know, people that just want to have me around because I make them look good kind of situation, but I never end up growing, right? I'm somebody else's muse, but when do I ever see my own value and worth and start to really allow things to grow in my life? So I feel like there's definitely an evaluation going on here at this time. Even if things do seem amazing with this person, you may still be wanting to evaluate if things can grow, right? If things can go from this immature budding state to something that can actually bear fruit. Perhaps this is what you're looking at. Even as much as you may care about this person or how strong the feelings may be, you know, you still feel this need to be cautious of your mind and heart and not get too completely wrapped up in a dynamic, a love dynamic. Yeah, because love can be just as amazing as it can be painful, right? And you've learned a lot from these situations, which is why I feel the clouds are there and the birds are there. It's like, yes, it can be so beautiful. There's so much more to it. Nothing is yet set in stone, mutable moon. So this is still an opportunity for you, you know, to back out of something or to move forward with something if that's what you choose to do. This is going to be, again, a very big evaluation time for you to decide if this is something that you really feel you want to keep giving your energy to, is what I'm hearing. Mutable is all about change, shape-shifting even. That something is still developing. This card indicates that something is indeed changing and there is room for maneuver. So take it as a sign that the situation you're asking about is far from finalized. If you are not happy with the current state of play, that is marvelous. It means you can still change the course of the outcome. However, there is also a sense that the situation could perhaps be a little unstable. For some, this is a great news because you can still influence it. Others will struggle with the uncertainty, but should stay with it for a little longer. Either way, nothing is yet set in stone. So the affirmation is, I know the best will unfold for me. I know the best will unfold for me. I know the best will unfold for me. By the power of 3, a perfect trinity, it is done. All right, Gemini, the best will unfold for you. Nothing is yet set in stone. What do you choose? Let's get some love advice from the Lover's Oracle cards and see what is coming out for you. We've got an energy of playfulness today. Laughter is the best therapy. Have some fun together and remember that love is the greatest healer. Love is the greatest healer, and when we can really enjoy our life with or without someone, you know, and still be able to be in that beautiful state of joy, just like this, within ourselves, that is when we will truly know what is meant for us, and it will be less confusing. Soulmate energy coming out here today says your soulmate is already with you in spirit. Believe it, and they will manifest physically. Beautiful. spring is that time to bring in that new, you know. So are you ready? Because it feels like there's a lot of eyes on you. All right. So if you're ready to birth into a new cycle, make sure that you put all of your energy into it. Let us do it, shall we? Get an answer to your question in 3, 2, 1. The answer today is a yes. Yes, yes, Gemini. Love it. You guys stay amazing. Don't you forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and bell notification. Also, let me know below how this is resonating with you. You guys, I will see you soon. Stay wonderful, and bye for now.